Is my screen visible to everybody?
Yes.
All
Mm.
right, let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's session. Thank you so much for setting aside the time. So, in this session, we are going to be talking about autopilot and especially how business users can leverage this tool. So, let's get started. So, your speakers for today are my colleague Sweta and I, Shreya. We both are technical account managers from UiPath, or TAMS as we call it in short. So, a quick look at how the session will play out. We will first briefly understand what Gen AI and specialized AI are and how it plays a major role at UiPath, especially considering the current tech scenario. And then we would jump right into how you can leverage Autopilot and another tool, Clipboard AI, to its fullest. And we also have demos prepped for you so you could really see the products in action. And towards the end of the session, we would be having a very exciting quiz where the winner would also be receiving some goodies from us and also a dedicated Q&A section. So let's get started. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but at least in India right now, IPL is the talk of the town. But so just like how IPL is the talk of the town right now, AI, especially generative AI, is the talk of the town for the tech space, right? And as most of us already know what generative AI is, as the name already suggests, it is the type of AI where you give some prompts. You say, I want XYZ. You just type that in your natural language, and then based on your prompts, the model, the LLMs, large language models, understand what you are asking for, and they would generate your answer. And the answer could be, let's say, data, images, videos, quite literally everything, right? However, when you come towards specialized AI is something, is the technology where you're specifically training for a task. Like you're recognizing something and extracting necessary information from it. So say, imagine I have a document or a passport or some other ID. You would recognize the text you want to extract from it, and you would just get that particular information. So one of the examples, I would say, at least what we do at UiPath, is that we create these ML models with specialized AI capabilities. And then these models will go on to identifying exactly what we want and extracting that appropriate information. So now that we have gone over and had a brief overview on what Gen AI and specialized AI is, where exactly do these two types of AI fit into UiPath's vision, right? So, with the constantly evolving tech space, I feel it is very, very important and necessary for us to just stay at top of the game and continue to deliver the best possible solutions for our users and customers. So, although, as you could see on the slide, back in 2018, we started with just pure RPA, but there is no way only that would sustain now, right? So we do need to be on par with what is happening in the industry, so we can continue to just be the best that we can be. So as the years passed, we delved into multiple technologies and came up with a lot of other products and a lot of other solutions. And now finally, we've also ventured into the AI space, and that is where Autopilot was born. So that is what we're going to be looking into in this session as well. So before we were just doing automation, right? UiPath was known for its automation, but that's not the case anymore because now we are going to be known for our AI powered automation. So as you could just see, we have a very simple image on the screen where you just have to feed the context into the suitable products that you are looking forward to, and just that's it, that's your work is done. Because after that, AI will take control, and then it would do whatever you would previously have to do manually, and automatically using these Gen AI and specialized AI models, it would do your work for you. And also, a very major main topic when it comes to AI is the security. So when it comes to security, we've also introduced the AI trust layer, so we can assure customers that their user data is safeguarded, there is no leaks as such, and especially that their data is not being used to retrain any of these models, right? So with that, I would like to hand over the session to Sweta, who would be just diving deep into what UiPath Autopilot is and its capabilities.
Hey, thanks, Shreya. So I hope we all got a good introduction about Gen AI and specialized AI.
So now looking on what is about UiPath Autopilot and what is so special about it and why are we having this entire series, right? So let's look into it. Autopilot leverages AI and ML capabilities to automate the automation process itself. So essentially, it helps in streamlining the creation and maintenance of automation workflows. And also, it helps you in creating the workflows automatically by just understanding the text that you just type into it. So Autopilot starts by analyzing user interactions with various applications and systems. It also observes repetitive tasks performed by the users and identifies potential steps suitable for automation. Then the autopilot gathers data related to the identified processes, like sequence of steps, input fields, any decision that might be involved into it, and also the output that has to be coming out of the process, right? So using this collected data, then autopilot will train the machine learning model to understand the underlying patterns and variations in the processes. So these models will learn to mimic human actions and decisions within the specified workflows that are to be generated. So based on the learned patterns, autopilot will generate the automation workflows automatically. So this helps in the developers, in saving time without, manually creating the workflows and bringing in all the UI-based interactions and everything. So everything autopilot will take care. So it creates sequences of actions to replicate the observed tasks, including data entry, mouse clicks, keyboard inputs, and also some decision-making steps as well. So Autopilot doesn't stop at initial automation. It also continuously monitors the performance of generated workflows and collects feedback from users. So this feedback loop will help in refining the automation models over time, ensuring accuracy and efficiency. Next slide, Shreya, please. Moving on, Autopilot for Assistant, right? So we just heard about Autopilot. Now, how are we going to use it for business users and how is it available for everyone? So Autopilot for Assistant is how Autopilot is being brought to everyone, where Autopilot can significantly enhance the capabilities of UiPath Assistant, which is a centralized interface for managing and executing automation tasks. So UiPath Assistant serves as a command center, right, for automation tasks, allowing users to trigger pre-built workflows. Similarly, when integrated with Autopilot, Assistant gains the ability to automatically discover new processes that ripen for automation. This streamlines the process discovery phase, ensuring that no potential automation opportunity is overlooked. With Autopilot's capability to automatically generate automation workflows based on observed user interactions, UiPath Assistant becomes more powerful. So users can request for automation for specific tasks directly through Assistant, like just a chat message, and Autopilot can swiftly create the necessary workflows in response. So UiPath Autopilot will also help you in completing your tasks, finding out if there is any schedule that you have missed, and also work as a buddy to you. Shreya, next please. So here we'll just see a quick demo that was also shown in the AI summit that happened recently. And we'll see how UiPath Assistant is going to help us with Autopilot. So here on the left side of this image or the video that you see, you can see there is a medical research paper or an event that is going to happen at Vienna. And this was a past event, so December 2023, and it's an in-person event. So on the right side, you can see UiPath Autopilot and the assistant. So where the user is asking whether the passport is available or to book the ticket. So here Autopilot is going to work on it, and the input required for this this entire process will be the passport of the user, certain credentials of the user, so that the bot is able to go and log in and perform all the processes. So now if you see, the passport has been given and apparently it is already expired. So now it is going to generate a sort of a ServiceNow ticket, log a ServiceNow ticket so that they can renew it. Okay, so that's what it is doing. So it would have already shown you the steps that it will be performing as part of this entire process. That's how UiPath Autopilot and Assistant come together. So now if you see, it is going and logging in a ticket at the ServiceNow portal. So done. Now the user is asking which of their users are or the customers in their portfolio are going to be speakers at the event. So he's just taking in a snapshot of their customer portfolio and sending it to the autopilot. And now this will pull in data based on the Salesforce details that it has access to. And based on that, it has given the results. So again, the user is asking who is on a particular user or a particular client. So let's see. It's pretty interesting, right? So it just goes on like a chat GPT where you just ask for something and the bot replies or the GPT replies. But the only thing is here, you just need the bot or the assistant needs the access to your backend applications. But once it is there, your work is almost done. So you just have to ask for it and you get it done. You can also find this video on the UiPath community link that is there on YouTube channel as well. So this video has been posted there too. So for your reference, you can refer it for that. So maybe at the end of this session, I'll also post the link for this video. A lot of things. So it's not just one task that the user is asking about. So a lot of things. So it's how easy it is for us to work along with autopilot. So he says, get the request that I received since yesterday and pick based on prioritize based on the amount. So again, the bot goes and reads your emails, and based on the emails and the attachments and the data that is there and on the body of the mail, it is going to respond back to you. Great. So it has given loan request from Evelina and your loan request too. So apparently the user also has sent a loan request. Good. And now the user is asking for the attachment also. So if you see, everything is being picked from the backend, that is the Outlook, and posted to your autopilot chat window. So it's not necessary that you should have your Outlook or any third-party application open by your side. It's just the integration that is happening from behind. All right. So yeah, so this is how autopilot for assistant will be in action. So currently it's under private preview. We will have to join the waitlist so that we get access to it once we are ready and up in the line, right? So Shreya, if I may share my screen, please.
Yes.
Thanks. All right, so I'll just quickly show you where you got to go and register. So the link will be provided to you on the chat. Also, you just go and type in for uipath.com/product and autopilot for assistant. And here you will find a whole lot of information about the autopilot that we just spoke about, but a little more interactive, a little more in detail. So scroll down all the way to the bottom and you'll see a form where you'll just have to fill your information and click on register now. So you will also get a confirmation email to your mail ID, which you register with. And once you are up on the line, you will also get access to it. So if you're interested, please do go and register yourself once the event is over today. Right? All right then. So let's move on to Studio Web.
Hey, Shweta, I have one question. Is it okay if I ask now or I can wait later?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay. So when you were running the process, like a couple of steps, like it was interacting with the service now and other backend services or apps. You mentioned there is a background app that has been configured. So how we are configuring it? Is it something like the Copilot is already detecting that through automations? Like for example, the ServiceNow ticket, right? So
Yeah.
is there any other workflow or a process that has already been there, which it is like scanning it and finding it out, okay, there is a process that can create a ServiceNow ticket,
That's
or
right.
is it some kind of integration happening behind the scenes? So what exactly is happening
Okay,
here?
so
How
the integration does not happen right away. So it is based on the processes that is already available with the autopilot. So based on the processes that are available in your organization, right? So if you ask for, read an email from Outlook, so if your Outlook is already configured, then it will generally do it for you. So it's not that every time you just have to open Assistant and run the process, then wait for it to open, and then things happen. It's not that way now. So once you have your process ready, it will just, you just have to send out a message. So it's not necessary that you should be the developer of it. It can be anyone else from your team as well.
got it? Okay, maybe we'll discuss a little bit more at the end, but
Sure.
for now I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. All right. Any more questions, or shall we proceed?
There were a couple of questions on the Slido.
Okay, I think
So,
shall we take it now, or shall we take it at the end?
it's just 2 questions, so I think we'll be
All
able to
right.
finish it.
Sure.
Okay, so one of the questions are there any additional licenses required for autopilot?
As of now, it is on private preview, so you might not need it for now. So maybe in future, the product will come on with more information about this. Will this be available in Community Edition? Right. So Community Edition, Autopilot, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I would say I'm not sure. So Shreya, do you think?
I'm not too sure either, because it's still, as Shweta said, it's still in private preview, so we're just awaiting more details on on how the usage can be done.
Right. So again, another question around the license and when the autopilot will be available for use of our clients. So for clients, it might take a little bit longer, but for everyone to use or for public preview, it will be pretty soon. So maybe in next release or something, right? How far are we from introducing voice commands in UiPath Autopilot? I would say not very far. We have reached till a chat message, but let's see. Maybe this will also go into the pipeline pretty soon. Shreya, one question around security level.
Maybe you continue with your session. We can
Okay.
take those maybe after that. Maybe you will cover already something in your presentation.
Sure, Ankit. Yeah. All right. So now we are on Studio Web. All right. So Studio Web, right? So Studio Web is already available for designing automation workflows directly within a web browser. I think you all must be knowing it already. But by integrating that along with Autopilot, Studio Web gains the ability to automatically discover processes suitable for automation. So maybe if you are just going to give some general text, it will process it. It will generate steps according to the text that you have given to it. And you can validate and verify whether it is suitable for automation or not. It's not that you have to sit and break down all the minute steps that might be under it, and then you have to decide. It's not that way. It's been broken down here itself. So this will streamline the initial phase of identifying automation opportunities, making it easier for developers to start building automation solutions, at least with the skeleton, right? So with Autopilot's automation generation capabilities, UiPath Studio Web users can also expedite the process of creating automation workflows. So the Autopilot will also analyze users' interactions with the web applications and systems, automatically generating sequence of actions and steps that will be required for this particular process to be completed. All right. So here we have 3 different processes or 3 different features that is been incorporated in Studio Web by Autopilot. So one is text to workflow, where we just give a random text or a normal English text, and it will convert it to a workflow and give it to you. Second is just typing in something and as a text, and then it will generate an expression. So this is, I would say this feature is very useful for business users, because we wouldn't generally expect the business users to go and learn some coding, and they should be strong on syntax and all. We can't expect that. And also for them, it is not mandatory as well, and they cannot sit and learn something for a long time for a technical purpose. So what they can do, they can just give in their input as a text, and Autopilot takes care of converting to expressions based on the syntax and everything. And the final one is again automated code generation, which is similar to text to workflow. And if the process is requiring for any code also, the Autopilot takes care of it, right? Let's quickly jump onto a demo. So where I will be showing you a real-time use case. So allow me a moment so that I can share my screen with the Studio Web. All right, I'm sharing my screen again. Let me know once you are able to see it.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, that's great. So now here is the Studio Web. All right. So for those of you for whom it is the first time you guys are seeing it, it is available on this on the applications that is available on Orchestrator. Go to the left and you can see Studio. So this is the Studio Web. You just click on it and you land here. All right. So what are we going to do now is, the classic RPA challenge website, right? Let me pull it out. All right. So this is the classic example that I would call, because we've been playing with this from the start. So this is a very dynamic page where based on every click or every submit or every refresh, the fields change its position. So this is a dynamic web page. All right. So now we are going to take a use case where we have the Excel that has been taken from this RPA challenge again, which has certain rows of data. And we are going to post these to this website. And also once it is done for every row, we're going to post the first name of the data that was submitted to a Teams channel saying the data was submitted on behalf of so-and-so person. All right. So for this, we are going to interact with Excel, then a UI browser, and also Microsoft Teams. We're going to have these three interactions. Okay, so let me pull it off. Going back to Studio Web. So I just have to type in the same wordings to the UiPath Studio Web. So I would say, all right. So read workbook and paste each row of data into rpachallenge.com. So I would just take the link. Not necessary that you have to give it, but it's your wish. And send a message in MS Teams. So I would say MS Microsoft Teams. And this is again another feature where if it is any application, then it will pop out in the bottom and you can just select across it. So Microsoft Teams channel. Say. All right, that's it. So I will click on generate. It will take a few seconds because your Autopilot is going to read through the text that you have given, and it is going to process everything based on the ML model and give you all the steps that it is thinking of breaking it down. Oh, wow. Okay. Why? I'll try it again. All right, here it is. So, okay, so here it is. So once it is manual trigger, it will read the Excel workbook. And then for each row in the workbook, it is going to go and fill a form on the website. And finally, the step is going to be send a message in Microsoft Teams. All right, so the steps look good. So I would continue in Studio. again, now it will take another few seconds because it is going to load along with the steps. So with the activities, basically, you don't have to worry about which activity to use. So it's here for me. So read Excel workbook for each row in workbook and send message. So send message alone, I want it to happen after every row has been posted. So I'll move it inside the for each. These are minute things that you might have to do manually, but the steps, the skeleton has been provided by Autopilot. Okay, so workbook, let me just show my workbook. It's on OneDrive, attachments, challenge, and range. Sheet 1, it has headers, so I would leave it as it is. Okay, so it's, oh, okay, yeah. So this first step is completed, second step. Okay, so again, it is asking for workbook. So what I would do is I would show it here and remove the first step. It is absolutely your wish if you want to keep it also. But I would leave it as it is for now, maybe. And then the range, sheet 1. Okay, it has headers, so I'll change it to true. Okay. Next comes filling up the form. Okay, so it says generate the UI automation activities using Autopilot preview. Select a tab to begin, right? So here on the dropdown, you can see the different tabs that are open on my system at the moment. So here it's the rpachallenge.com for us. So I will select this tab. It will navigate here. Okay, so it has taken the screen. Now to generate the activities, right? So it says generate the UI automation activities using Autopilot, which is again in the preview. So click on generate. So it will read the entire screen. It will map based on the input file that we have just mapped it to. So let's wait for it to complete. Wow. Look, all the steps are here. So does it look good? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I would just say confirm and save. Okay, so once we click on confirm and save, all these steps are loaded in here. Right? Look, all the values also are inside these. So let's test it out. Okay, I still have one more. Okay, everything has an error. Let's see. Okay. Open expression editor. Okay, this is the feature that we were speaking about. So Autopilot has given us 2 additional features where once here you can just type in what is the value. So I'll just say current row first name and generate expression. It's here, current row dot first name. This is one way. It also gives you the suggestion. Second example I would show you is here it is having an autofix. I'll just show you the autofix, which is basically, again, if there is any syntax error, right? So it will come here. So the autofix will be helpful for you when you need to finish it off. You need to remove that syntax error. All right, current row dot last name. So yeah, I am doing this manually. Yes, it requires some level of manual interactions as well, but it is easier. All right, current row dot company name. Okay, we are done. And the final part is on the MS Teams. So let's expand it. Okay. So the team is, it's a send message on Microsoft Teams with completion status. Okay, so I don't want this particular activity. I need to send the message on a Teams channel, I said, right? So let's just click on the plus here. And if you scroll down or at the bottom, you can see all the different applications it supports, all the activities it has for each applications. For us, it's Microsoft Teams. And if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see send message to channel, send channel message. Okay, so this is the activity that we are going to use. Okay, it takes some time. So it after we finish this off, I mean, once we complete this step and once we execute it, we'll also see how to post this as a template, which is again useful for you. So yeah, send channel message. Okay, my account is already been selected. My team is here, and then my channel name. So my channel name might be Autopilot demo. Yes, here it is. So before I show you, okay, let me just show you Autopilot demo Teams channel here. So this is the UiPath demo is my team and Autopilot demo is my channel. So there are no messages for now. So let's move back to our presentation here. All right, so I'll just say open expression editor. I'll say write message as data successfully posted on behalf of, I am going to say first name, right? So for each row in workbook, okay, here it is. Okay, I'll just say generate expression. Okay, if you see message, okay, so I don't need message again. Fine tuning you will have to do a little bit, but again, this will be improvised in future because again, this is under private preview. So data successfully posted on behalf of, and then current row dot first name. All right, so let's just test it out. If you're really doubtful, I would say my name and test it. Right, yeah, it looks good. So I'll just click on save. Okay, so we don't have any error. Okay, why do we have an error here?
Delete the last one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. All right, yes, we should be good. Cannot be connected to string. All right. It must be here. Right, give me a minute. So here it is. Okay, so here we have. Okay, now all the errors have gone. Fine, let's test it out. When we are testing, another interesting feature here is we get a live stream of what's happening from behind. So here it is. I'll parallelly open Teams channel as well. All right, if you see it's being has been filled. Where's my teams? Okay, so if you see data successfully submitted for John. So similarly, we'll get for 4 other rows. Okay, so this business use case is when you have lots of data to process as on an Excel sheet, and you just use this particular process, and you let your team know. And this channel will contain all your team members, and the team will be posted on until where the data has been processed. All right, so this is a simple use case that we could think of at the moment. But yeah, this is how Autopilot is helping us here. So let's see, let's wait and complete it. Great, so data has been successfully posted for all the rows of data that we had. All right, now submitting as a template or moving it as a template, it's easy. So on the right side, you will see submit as template, just click on that. And you can give anything, so I would just say, posting data to challenge site. And description, you can give whatever you want. Click on create. All right, once done, it says template created successfully. Let's move back to Studio Web. Let's go to templates. And here we have. So going on, anyone in your organization can use it. Okay. So that's it from my end. We're moving it back to Shreya. Shreya, over to you.
Thank you, Sweta. Let me just share my screen again. Is it visible?
Yes, Shreya.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Uh,
So
yeah. Vaibhav this side. I have a question on the previous use case. So shall I ask or shall I ask at the end?
You could post it on the Slido. There's a Slido link on the chat.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Fine, thank you. Okay, all right. So I would be taking over and explaining how you could leverage Clipboard AI to its best. But before that, let's look at something else. So the numbers that you're currently seeing on your screen are the responses from a recent survey that was taken. So this survey was basically taken, you asked employees how much time they spent doing certain tasks, right? And most of them felt that they spent 31% of their working hours just copy and pasting data. And when you see 31% of working hours, I think it's quite a large chunk of time spent, considering how there would be very little productivity when you're just, menial, when you're doing menial copy and paste, right? So that is where Clipboard AI comes into play. So Clipboard AI is a smart copy and paste tool, which also was named one of Time's best invention of 2023. So what Clipboard AI basically does is that it leverages both generative AI as well as specialized AI to understand the structure of the content, extract your relevant information, copy it, and finally paste it exactly where it needs to go. So as you could see, you could copy it from any sort of form. It could be structured, semi-structured, unstructured, and paste it into your desired destination. And how does it work? It uses 3 technologies, which is AI computer vision, document understanding, Gen AI, along with specialized AI as well. So what CV does over here is that when Clipboard AI scans something, right? So you may think that it would just scan text, any forms or some sort of just random Word document or anything like that. But that is not the case. Clipboard AI would also scan images, and it would extract those fields which are there present in the images to get the relevant information out for us. So it doesn't necessarily just have to be a document. It could be anything that you just want to copy and paste details from one source to another. Document understanding. So what DU does here is that we are using over 30 models to understand what sort of document you are classifying. So I would say if you're scanning, say, an invoice, right? So Clipboard AI would actually first scan that document, and it would, using the DU models, it would recognize what sort of document you have scanned. So it would show, it would eventually come up as an invoice. And finally, generative AI and specialized AI. So specialized AI, as I mentioned before also, would be extracting that particular text from the image or the form, whatever you have scanned. It would extract, it would recognize it first, and then show you that these are this is everything that I've extracted from here. And then generative AI would help you extract it from there. What you exactly want, you would be able to get it from there. So I would just show you a quick demo on how that works. Let me see. Okay. So there is a link where you could download Clipboard AI from, which we will be sharing in on the chat. So since it is in public preview, it is free to use current as of now. So we would just share the link to you, and we encourage you to go ahead and try it out, because it is actually a very, very cool tool. So once you download it, it's only compatible on Windows. So once you download it, you would have this blue icon, just click it. And then you would have this small black widget over here. So once you hover on these three dots, these two options come up, and you could go ahead and start copy and pasting what you want. So I would be taking the same example what Sweta had just shown us of the RPA challenge website. So as she said, that these fields are dynamic. So as you see over here, once I press submit, the fields change again, and so on, right? Okay. So I have this Excel file with me, which has the data, and I would be copying those fields and then putting it back onto the RPA challenge website to see if it actually recognizes the fields and validates it and pastes the information correctly. So I'll just take these and I'll copy the cells. So once it has been copied, we go back to our RPA challenge website, and you could just paste it into the form. So it would analyze the fields, it would analyze what you have copied first, and then it would immediately paste it into the corresponding fields. Right, so the first set is done. And when I press submit again, it's again, the fields have changed. So let's see if it would actually work now. So all the fields have been correctly matched. And that is how, Clipboard AI can just help you save so much of your time if you have a lot of these data to process. So this was just one of the examples that I had. I do have two more, one of which is an invoice and the other a passport. So now I have this invoice with me, and I would just copy the whole thing. And go back over here, and I've already just given some headers from the invoice. So let's see if it works or not. So there is also an option over here to paste with mapper. So mapper is just that small pop-up which comes into, okay, I think something else has been extracted. Close this. Okay, so the mapper is just another pop-up which shows you what has been extracted, and you could, validate and see if it has been rightly extracted. So what if my quantity was wrong? What if it has taken something else, right? So you could see everything that has been extracted from that particular invoice, and then you could just choose what you think is right. So over here, I think all of my data has been rightly extracted. And as you can see on top, it also says that they've read that as an invoice. So what if it's not correct? If it's not an invoice, you could always go ahead and change it into something else. And the small eye icon over here, you could see what it has from the image itself. It would show you what it has extracted. And click on the camera icon. So that is for the image. And if you press those three, the hamburger menu, then you would see it in just plain text. So I just go ahead and paste the data over here, and everything has been pasted immediately and correctly as well. So you could see the unit price, the total also based on the quantity, the total has also been correctly extracted. So I also have a passport, and let's see how Clipboard AI behaves when there is an ID. So in case you don't want to copy the whole window, you could always just copy a region. So that is also an option for you. Okay, so this has been copied. Go back to our passport details, and once again, I've given all of the head, and I would paste it with my mapper, or you could just go ahead and paste it directly. It's up to you. And it will show you everything that has been extracted, and same way, it has read it as a passport. You can go and change it if you think it's wrong, or just go ahead with what has been recognized, and just like that, everything has been pasted on the Excel again, right? So what if, so over here, when you see that I have so many headers, right? I don't want to type that either. So I just have a plain sheet, and I'm not going to type any of the headers, but still Clipboard AI, it will paste the headers along with the correct information as well. So I would just go ahead and paste it in Excel, and the whole, or you get all your headers as well as the data which was there from here. So it's the same thing, just that over here I did not give any headers, and it has just given me the headers as well as the information from there. So now it may seem that, I just have 1-2 documents. Why do I have to do this? But just imagine if you have plenty, so that it would save a lot of time. And also, since it's currently in preview and it is free for all of you to download, I do encourage you to try it out to just see how cool it can really be. So that is what I wanted to showcase on the demo for Clipboard AI. Go ahead and share my screen again, 1 second. So some of the topics that we were discussing right over here, so I have a lot of those links handy with me, which I would be posting on the chat. If anything is relevant or you want to explore something more, please go ahead and do it. There is also the Clipboard AI download link, which I've posted. So you could go ahead and try that as well. Yes, this is a downloadable exe. There is a link. You could just go ahead, fill in your data, and you would have it downloaded onto your desktop. And now let's move on to the quiz and the Q&A both together. So shortly I'll start sharing my screen and also presenting the QR code and or the code, whichever you prefer to join from. You could join the quiz. It is quite interesting, and also whatever we've discussed in the session, it would be that. So let's go ahead and start that.
So Shreya, Vaibhav this side, I have posted some question, but I did not get response. Maybe like it is possible.
Yes, sure. We'll just look into that. So maybe Vaibhav, after the quiz is done, we can get back to questions if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah. So if you could see my screen, could just scan the code or scan the QR code or use the number and just join. You wait a couple of minutes to let maximum participation, and then we would get started.
And for those of you who are looking for the link, it's just posted on the chat as well.
Okay, is I get to join or shall we get started?
Just a second, I'm joining.
Yes, okay, all right.
Anyone struggling to join?
Hey, just one question. This is Akhil here. I joined like from phone and laptop, but my phone was not working. So how to delete that?
1 second, let me just see if I can remove you from here.
Or should I just
Rohit, if
keep
you
it?
can help this. Rohit, if you can help on this. Yeah, let me check. It's
Or should I just keep using one and submit answers from there?
I think it would be ideal. Just keep using one.
Yeah. So I'll just keep
find
the
the
phone one
users.
as it is and not submit anything from there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, has everybody joined in?
I think we can get
We'll get
started.
started? Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Here comes the first question. Be ready. So you would be having 20 to 30 seconds based on the question. So the fastest, whoever chooses the correct answer the fastest would be topping the leaderboard.
Yeah. And you don't necessarily need to look at the Zoom screen. You can just look at
Yeah.
your phone or wherever you're accessing the quiz. Just look at that screen. So the first question is
First
done.
question's done. So 81% has given the correct answer, and let's see who tops the leaderboard. Vinod, followed by Atul, and then Christopher. All right, guys, close timing as well. Go to the next question. Do you think UiPath Autopilot can perform tasks like creativity, critical thinking, and also have emotional intelligence? All right, false is the correct answer. And now we still have Vinod on top. Okay, to the next. So what two types of AI does Clipboard AI utilize? You have reactive machine AI and self-aware AI, generative AI and specialized AI, theory of mind AI and limited memory AI, and generative AI and self-aware AI. All right, so I think almost everybody has given the correct answer. Very good. And Vinod still leads. I
Yeah.
think everybody
So
else. So
Awesome. Just to reiterate for anyone who is participating in this quiz for the first time, so while it is important to give the correct answer, it's also important to give the correct answer the fastest. So that's how the leaderboard is being set. So please make sure that you have your fingers are really fast in kind of playing the sport. So yeah, carry on.
all right, next question. Who is the autopilot feature available for? Is it just business users, developers and testers, business users and testers, or is it just available for everybody? All right.
So the people who chose the first option, you need to register for the third session as well. That is autopilot for testers.
Yeah, so autopilot is available for everybody and all of you can use it. And we have a new leader on top. So let's see how that continues. Okay, have a look at this image and do you think it can be processed by Clipboard AI? Yeah, okay, great. Everybody has given the correct answer. And we have Ankita on top now. Okay, that's very nice. Something which we touched upon in the beginning of the session, just given a very brief overview. So what do you think AI trust layer does in the UiPath platform? Okay, we have a mix of a lot of all the options, and B is the correct option. It establishes governance policy for how, where, and by whom generative AI features are used. And we have Ankita on top again. Let's continue. So in Clipboard AI, what do the document understanding models do? What is it there for? Okay, this is such a disappointment, guys. I had said that the document understanding models is there for document classification to understand what document has you have scanned, like a passport or an invoice or something like that. So that is where your document understanding models come into play, and it is not in document extraction, like 73% of you have said. And so we have
Oh,
Ryan at the top now. All right,
what
just 3 more questions to go.
what have you done, guys?
So why is combining UiPath and Gen AI advantages for use cases?
So I feel this is also going to have a lot of.
Yeah, a lot of mixed answers. Okay, let's see what the correct answer is. And it is deep, which 39% of you have said. And Ryan continues to be on top with just 2 more
Yeah.
questions to
So
go.
if you are not on the top of the leaderboard, it's fine. They can still get it wrong. Just so keep
Right.
going.
I don't think anybody can get this question wrong.
Yeah, they can.
Okay. So Clipboard AI can copy from any sort of documents, be it structured, semi-structured, unstructured. And we just have one more question to go. And let's see it. What is the role of specialized AI? All right. So as we had said, specialized AI is just a model which is trained for a particular task, a very specific task. And I think half of you have gotten it right. And with that, let's see who wins it. And it is Atul, who's gotten 9 out of 10 questions correct and was probably also the fastest. Congratulations, Atul. Rohit will reach out to you with your
I think it's a
present.
tie over there, Shreya. So if you see Atul and
Oh,
Ryan have the same
yeah,
time.
right, correct.
So it's
Okay.
less than a second.
Congrats,
So
Ryan and
yeah.
Atul.
Yeah, so congrats, Ryan and Atul. Guys, can you just ping me your email IDs on chat here, and I'll reach out to you separately.
And Rohit
Atul
will
and
get a
Ryan.
recording as well for this session. We'll get recording.
For the quiz or for the session?
No, for the session.
Yes, of course you will. You'll get it on email directly. No worries.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
are there any questions that you want to take up?
Yeah,
Shreya?
let me just check.
Before we start the question answer, great, really amazing. Thank you for the last minute. This quiz was really interactive. If you can please share that, because we are also planning couple of session internally with the team. So if you can also share the Slido link, it is really amazing. And thank you so much, Shreya and Shweta. We really like the, really impressed with the demo and overall very interactive session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Atul. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
Atul.
Okay, let's see if you have any unanswered questions.
Okay, we have some of them answering the quiz on Slido as
Oh,
well.
yeah. I think that would have
Sorry,
been an
guys.
accident. Okay. Okay, so there is a question if it's possible to copy from documents and paste it in web pages and web forms. Yes, it is absolutely possible. You could have a document on your desktop and you could copy it from there and you could paste it into any web page that is available on the internet. So as long as the fields match, it would seamlessly copy paste, or else as I showed in the demo, you could always open the mapper and then validate each of the data. And once you validate it for the rest of the data, it would automatically just go into the correct way as you want it. So that will not be a problem. And so yes, you will be able to paste it into web pages and forms.
Atul, you have something to say? You've raised your hand here.
Yes, my question is more towards the Clipboard AI.
Mhm.
I've been playing with it from couple of weeks, I'll say. The
Okay.
challenge that I'm facing is around the text extraction. I mean, I know it was working fine on a given day. I think the example they were giving in the during the video or the demonstration also about the vehicle sales agreement, right? You can put the text and extract the information. I don't know how the training is working. When I was reading the documentation, it says that it automatically trained itself. Uh, I mean, one day it was working fine. The second day, when I'm trying to extract, it doesn't extract any information at all. So, have you faced those kind of challenges? Is it just because it is in a preview phase that's why those challenges are coming, or any issue that you have faced dealing with the text extraction from a plain text or the unstructured
So
data?
I think personally, I have not faced any issues when I was extracting any sort of documents, but I do know some people who have been facing this. And when the questions were raised, since, as you've already said, that since it is in preview, we're just constantly trying to improve the retraining method as well. So I think once everything settles down and it is available in GA, all of those issues should go away.
Got it. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we have one question from ML. So how would it be licensed? So if you're asking about Autopilot, so it's still under preview. So we will, take some more time to know anything about licensing and cost models if it is relevant to it, right? So we'll have to wait for it. Till then, we can enjoy it.
There is another question. Is Clipboard AI integrated in Studio? No, as of now, it is not integrated in Studio. It is its own separate an application, an exe-based application. Can it copy from images? Yes, it absolutely can copy from images, as I showed on the demo as well. Any image that you have, you can copy it from there. You cannot, you've also asked, are there any ways to call the service or application from Studio to add it into a bot? Currently, there is no functionality as such. As I said, it is just a separate individual application by itself.
We have one question from Najwa saying, how does it connect with other UiPath offerings like Orchestrator? Example for scheduling, monitoring, execution of automation processes. So if you're referring to Autopilot, then Autopilot is integrated within the other products itself. So we'll just have to try it out a little bit. If it is not working with few of the other offerings, like maybe for execution of process, it would work. Monitoring, it might, and scheduling, I haven't tried personally, but generally when it is available, we can see how it goes, right? So for now, it is expected to be integrated with internal other products.
Let me just add on to that one. So what happens when you're developing a process using Autopilot in Studio Web, right? You still have an option to publish that process, and once you publish that process, it goes to Orchestrator, and you still have the scheduling trigger, everything available over there in Orchestrator. So it's more about Autopilot at the moment. What you have seen is like providing you a quicker way to develop your processes faster.
Thank you, Bresh.
Feel free to unmute as well if you have any questions.
I can see one more question on Slido.
Yeah. If a business user relies solely on AI to write code, who would validate if the code written is correct, safe, and legal? All right. Safety, Autopilot is already integrated with AI trust layer, so your data is safe. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the safety of your data that is being passed to the Autopilot. Legal, it depends on the use case that you're working on, and the business user. As a business user, you know what is legal and what is not. So you will have to take care of the legality, but correct, whether the code that it has written is correct or not. Okay, the first thing, if your code is having any bugs, you can see the errors that will get displayed. You can correct it. If not, you can also reach out to any of the UiPath developers. But yes, as I saw on a chat saying, correct the code or something, right? So if that feature is also there, it would be good, but maybe for now you will have to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, I would like to add something here.
Sure, Ankit.
So when you say business users, so basically whenever we have any business users, whatever code they are generating, we have no control on it, even if they are using Autopilot or they are doing it by their own. So that is the business user's responsibility, what kind of code they are writing in. And as Sweta demonstrated, it will not generate the code. It will give you the suggested steps. If they accept it, then only it will generate the code. Also, if it is correct or not, if there are some errors in the code, it will just show you. And safety and the legal is the business user's responsibility, whether it's AI generated code or they have written it. From an execution perspective, we are having the activities in the workflow. So it's like a workflow for the robot. So it doesn't matter it's generated by AI or the human user.
Thanks, Ankit. So any other questions, guys?
And one more thing I need to add in that is like, let's say if you want to add a control over the automation, let's say you don't want to do automation on specific URLs or something like that. So basically you have option in automation ops where you can put the control with the website, excluded website, allowed website, those kind of restriction. You can do it from that governance rule as well. So basically you can force that the rules to your all the automations group.
Thank you, Rahul. There's one more question, Shreya. So does Clipboard AI identify handwritten text?
So I haven't tried it with handwritten text, but however, I do feel that if it's handwritten, you would obviously scan it and then you would have it on your machine, right? And you can obviously scan that particular image or document using Clipboard AI. But the result, it would probably be based on how legible the text is, I would say. So I think Asif has asked the question. So if you do try it, please let us know. I would also be very interested to know what the results are.
I just tried it out, Shreya, when this question was popped up.
Okay.
Worked fine, pretty fine. A couple of it was able to identify, especially in the grid, it faced some issue. There were multiple rows in that grid. It was able to only identify the top row, which was written more like in a type. But whereas the document I tried, where it has other handwritten text, again, it came as a semi-structured document. So pretty much like 70-80% it worked fine.
All right. Yep. So there you have your answer. Thank you so much, Atul.
Yes, Akhil, you have raised your hands.
Yeah, so for the Clipboard AI, I just want to know, like, can we customize this thing? So consider that we found that the extraction part was not correct, or like, can we do that, like change directly into that part, or if consider one of the field is not extracted that I really wanted, so can we add those things directly into that?
Yeah, so I've showed it on the demo as well. So once Clipboard AI has automatically identified what it is, what it needs to extract, you have the option to paste it with the mapper, right? So when you click that option, it would show you everything that has been extracted from that document, and it would also show you what the information has been extracted for that particular field. So say for quantity, certain numbers have been extracted from an invoice like 5631, but instead of so that is the correct one. So but instead of quantity, say serial number has come in place of quantity, so it's just 1234, which is wrong. So you can go to the field option. There would be a drop down, and once you click the drop down, you would see all the options which you can have instead of what has already been extracted, and you could just go ahead and select it, and then you would get your correct data.
Oh, understood. And the confidence wise, how much is the confidence for the Clipboard AI? Like it's like 100% confidence for all the fields to get extracted whenever we have a couple of things.
When a couple of things, what do you mean by a couple of things?
Like we consider that I don't want to do all those manual things. I don't want to do all those customization in the first place when we start doing it, right? Like how much is the confidence like that the extracted data is correct? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, so when I was trying it out for two out of three documents, I had 100% confidence. However, for one invoice, for my amount, I was not getting the correct details. So what was happening was that, say one product costed 500, it was just showing and somebody purchased two of it, it was just showing the total amount to be 500. So what I did was I just had to manually change it once, that it has to be 1000, and the next time and how many ever times I tried it after that, it was 100% confidence. So I think you just have to change it once for it to learn and then continue to extract the correct data.
Okay, so it's kind of a retrainable, like
Yes.
once we do. Okay.
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions?
I would like to add one more point. This is for Atul, I guess, before he's asking on the autopilot where the automations have been pulling out. For that, based on the context, what you have given in the prompt, first it will go search on the automations that are deployed in your CoE. And if there is any automation relevant to the context that is already been deployed from your COE level, it go ahead and do that automation. And if there is something special that is new, that is not deployed from your COE level, it asks a window will pop up and it shows like AI automate where you need to give the description. And once you given the description, it go ahead and creates a workflow for you automatically. And your
Thank you so
automation
much.
will be ready.
Yeah, it had right. So that was my question, but same like I mean, there will be some items, for example, Outlook, right?
Yeah.
There are integration that we can take place behind the scenes, like we already configured the Outlook, but ServiceNow, those are the things where we may have automations, right? So like the example where I think Shweta showed with the MS team, right? So my point was more over in the does it automatically detect which are the apps that are already configured, what are the automations that are already done, right?
If you're
That
familiar
sense.
with integration service, it will give a integration. I mean, it will give the activity that where we should give the respective details, credentials, so that you can be logged in. It just gives an activity that where you need to fill the details so that you can, connect with your account and go ahead.
Great. Thank you so much,
Did it
Shivam.
answer that?
That helps. Yes, please. Thank you.
And if you want it more detail, there is a YouTube link that already been shared. You can go through it and there's an example for what you are asked.
Yep. Great. Thank you.
I can pin that in chat again.
That will be great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think we are good. Thank you all for joining. We will have the next session next week again. It will be a UiPath Autopilot for developers. Really excited to have you for that as well. I will quickly, share the link to that event as well over here so that in case you haven't already registered, please do that. Keep your questions coming in. You already have the profiles of Shreya and Shweta shared earlier, so please do connect with them and join us for the next UiPath community meetups. Thank you all. I'm just quickly sharing the link over here. Stop.